push us around, but then it don't turn out the way he wanted it to, because we don't got the spirit of fear. And that's another thing that all you brothers that are fairly coming into this thing, you gotta be strong and put your faith into the Lord, and don't let these spirits that walk in people or your own mind sway you, man. Stay true, and the angels, like I said, the angels that are kept around the servants of the Lord that fear him, he will protect you, man. He won't let you go. And we're all examples. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to Elder Tahar, all the way down, we all been through some form of danger. But the Lord always delivered us. And Lord will, he still continues.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For the Most High had not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Right, but of power. What power? His word, his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Not by the way we talk or how loud we get. It's when this truth comes out. You know, the truth. That's what stops it. So, but the point is, the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear.
Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord.
Right, don't be ashamed of Yahweh Shai. Right. Because Yahweh Shai comes written in the volume of a book. Yahweh Shai ain't standing next to you like I'm standing next to this brother. So for you to look at him and be like, man, I'm ashamed. He comes in the volume of your book, you're holding him in your hand. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed of it.
Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor me his prisoner.
And what he suffered, don't be ashamed of what he suffered, and you have to go through it too. You're gonna be cast out, you're gonna be evil spoken of.
Right. So
don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed that your woman leaves you. Don't be ashamed that she takes your child away because of the truth. Because it happens, man. Don't be ashamed you lose all your friends because it happens. Or your parents rise up against you and say you're part of you're a devil, you're into witchcraft, or you're part of a cult. Don't be ashamed of that, because they were saying the same thing with Yahweh Shai. They said that he had a devil in him. Right, they said he was a wine bibber and a glutton, just because he liked to eat and he drank wine. You know?
And to add on, just bring out a good parable, what happened in Luke chapter 19 to that wicked servant. He didn't even say why he didn't go out, because he was afraid of Yahweh Shai. Pretty much, but also too, it all goes into like him being ashamed to do what he was commanded to do. Yahweh Shai was telling him to pretty much when you break it down, it's also talking about defending for the gospel whenever he leaves. And that servant, he knew what Yahweh Shai was about. He knew what type of man he was, and he knew what he wanted to be spoken out there. And that servant, he hid it. He was ashamed. So what did they call him though? They called him a wicked servant, and they cast him out.
This is Proverbs 22 and 13. The slothful man saith, there is a lion without, I shall be slain in the streets.
Mm-hmm. And there ain't nothing, and that's the thing, man. You can't be ashamed, or you can't be afraid. You gotta be afraid as far as fearing the Most High. And if you truly fear him, you're gonna come out. You're not gonna, because that's the thing, man. With the when you first come into the truth, you see all these things are happening. But if the Most High is working with you, he ain't gonna let it happen. But it make it to the point you're like, man, I am afraid to go out or something, you know, or something like that, because like, I don't know what they're gonna say. But that's where that's where every brother will tell you, man, at that point, you gotta get out of that comfort zone.
You gotta gird up your loins.
Right.
You gotta man up.
Right.
It's not about, it's about knowing being faced with different adversities when you come out into the streets. It's not just, oh, always gonna be dead, or you're not gonna get someone to come up. I mean, you might even get touched. But that doesn't mean that the Most High is not dealing with you, because Yahweh Shai was touched, but that doesn't mean the Father wasn't dealing with him. He had to go through it. Anytime a man separates himself from the world and takes hold of the truth and carries it with him, he makes himself a prey.
Right.
So you're gonna be hated. You're gonna be looked at as strange. You gotta prepare yourself though. This is Matthew 10 and 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Right. Because he has the power to do anything. He's the one, and like I was saying about earlier about that job, being that servant, that's your job, man. Your job, really, man. That could have been your only thing that he commanded you to do, and to not have a beautiful life or whatever, have riches. So you got to do what you're commanded to do, and you gotta. Well, that's the whole thing. That's the whole breakdown of 2 Timothy chapter 2. He breaks you down into a soldier, right? Makes you build you up first to be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. You know. So you gotta. So what was that scripture you read again? What was that you read? Matthew. Yeah, but so you got it. Yeah, so you can't be afraid of the world, because what's the whole, like we're always talking about, what's the whole, that whole enmity thing going, that whole good versus evil going on. It's the Most High versus the world. So if you separate, and how are you going to separate yourself? Look at that big old demon.
Oh yeah.
But if you separate yourself from the world, the right way, where are you going to go to? The Most High. You separate yourself from the Most High, you're going to go back into the world. So it's that good versus evil thing, man. If you separate yourself from the Most High, He's gonna hate you. If you separate yourself from the world, they're gonna hate you. And it even tells you that in Peter's, that they think it's strange that you don't run to the same exercise right as they do. And then they separate you from their counsel and they speak evil of you. I've been a proverb in these wicked ass churches by my mother-in-law, man. You know.
But this is an encouraging scripture to you brothers that come in new, and if you may be struggling with it or not, but Yahushua already got you. This is John chapter 17, verse 14. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil.
Right. And the beautiful thing about it too, man, like it said in John 15, that links up with that. What did Yahushua said? If the world hates you, know that they hated me before it hated, or know that they hated me before you, because like you just said a minute ago, Yahushua's got you, man. Don't, like, hey, pretty much you could be like, if Yahushua was to be here right now, you'd be like, hey man, hey, they hate me too. Don't worry, it's all good.
But the younger brothers, even us, we're still young. Yeah. We got the examples, because they're being moved in the spirit of Yahushua, that tell us, hey man, this happened to me. Don't be afraid, this happened to me too. You know what I'm saying? So Yahushua, He's praying for you. He's already prayed for you, and He still continue to pray for you. If you're the elect, you're in His hand, man. There's nothing that can take you out of His hand. His grip, you got some vice grips, and you can't take nothing out of it. He got you. You know, you got to keep all these scriptures. You got to keep these scriptures in remembrance to keep you abroad. You can't, you know, remember them. And that's what's going to comfort you and give you that courage. And if you don't got these certain scriptures, ask the brothers. Message the brothers. Don't be afraid. And message the brothers and tell them what you're feeling. That way they can give you these certain scriptures to lift you up, to comfort you. Because, man, it's not an easy thing coming out here. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard thing, especially when it's one or two of you. But if you got a big group, you know, it's more power, but it's a hard thing when it's just by yourself, or even just when it's two. You know? But in all, like the way I see it, is that it's just making me stronger. It's making us stronger. But like all the brothers, they're strong as hell. You know? But the Lord has everything set up the way He wants it set up, and that's just what it is. So, you know, you gotta stay strong in this truth and show yourself a man and as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach, and strive for that crown, not the crown of this world, as far as, you know, making it to the top. Get that incorruptible crown, man. That where Yahushua is gonna give you your reward. You know, because right now there ain't nothing out here that's gonna suffice what you're really missing. You know, it's not gonna comfort you. And I could say that through experience. And other brothers can testify to it. And even you 2/3, y'all know it and y'all feel it. Because before I came into the world, before I came into the truth, I would always feel it. Nothing would make me happy. Nothing. But ever since I came into the truth, at the beginning, it was crooked and it was hard. You know what I'm saying? It was in rough paths and patches. But now Most High is giving me the strength, man. But it's still hard. It's not easy. Being tempted, you know, you're gonna continue to be tempted. If you have a baby mama, she's gonna give you hell. He's gonna use your child against you. You know, it's all different for different brothers. But the point is that you gotta remain strong.
This is Hebrews 10 and 35. Cast not away therefore your confidence, which had great recompense of reward.
Right, don't cast away your confidence, because you're gonna have a great reward. You know, you gotta hang on, endure to the end. You know, show yourself a man. For who? Not for yourself, for Yahweh Shai. That's what's gonna matter. Nobody else. Because like the scriptures say, seek out thy own salvation with fear and trembling. No one's gonna save you. But we, as a brotherhood, we depend on each other to receive encouraging words and comfort. Because we may not remember certain scriptures, but the brother will be like, man, I got you, and bring it back to you. Refresh you. Because we all need refreshing. You know? So don't cast away your confidence. Keep that same confidence and balance things out in your life. Whether it be to the truth, to the word, to everything, it has to be balanced.
This one here too. This is Matthew chapter 19, verse, is that one we talked about earlier, 19 and 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we are forsaken all and follow thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahweh said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory.
The regeneration is in the reincarnation. When you come back.
You shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
You're going to receive 100-fold, and you're going to get that beautiful gift, everlasting life, man. Where you're going to live your full life expectancy. And you're going to be able to get the full enjoyment, the full cup of your children, your brothers, you know, your family. You're going to be in the presence of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's the main one. Because he's the only pure thing, man. And he's the only one that can give you true love.
Because like right now, you know, like you were saying earlier, man, like there's always something, man, in this life today that, you know, it's like they call it, people like to call it that empty hole in your body that you can't ever fill up.
So there's a void in your heart.
Right.
In your mind, in your heart. Not right here, but that's the words they use. There's a void in your heart.
Right.
Meaning that, but it's really talking about there's a void in your mind.
Right.
There's something missing. There's something missing in the part of your brain which has to do with love, comfort, affection, love. That's what it is.
Right. Well, like, just to bring it out, that's why though, like everybody today, man, nobody can actually have died peacefully. You know, nobody, because everybody today, man, they die, man, but they're not ready. But like you said, in that time, man, you're gonna be ready. Like when you're about to die, man, you may just lay down and like, all right, I'll see you again. You know, and you're just gonna lay down and give up the ghost. You're gonna be able to live your full life expectancy. Everything now, man, is just an example. Not even an example, man. It's just getting prepared for what we gotta get ready for, man. Also, we're getting ready for the returning and downfall of America, man. But but you know, that's what we're speaking on, man, to you brethren that are coming in, and to just keep up the confidence of all the brethren that are out there, man. Just stay strong in this truth and fight till death, man, for this truth. Like the scripture said in Ecclesiastes, the Lord shall fight for you.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Right, and your labor is not in vain. Don't, because that's what, like, your mind will tell you, man, that, like you were speaking on in the very beginning, man, a lot of people think that they you know, pretty much persuaded their own selves to the point because they're in denial that the Most High ain't gonna return. And that's what will happen, man, and it's true too, man. You may not see whatever you want to see, and you'll fall back because you didn't believe. But your labor is not in, the scriptures bear witness, man, your labor is not in vain. And the scriptures tell you, man, that the Most High, he's a rewarder of those that do good. He's not a terror to those who do good, man. Your labor, your afflictions that you've taken this time, man, they're not in vain. Your sufferings. And Paul breaks that down beautifully, man. What we got coming in the next life, man, it's gonna be beautiful.
This is Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Right, so you can't be thinking that your labor is not going to be rewarded for. That's where all those parables about those wicked servants came in, or the man who didn't believe or believed for a little bit, but then he fell back into the world. Those are those people who didn't have faith. That's why the scriptures say that the just shall live by faith. That's what's going to boil down to, man. When that those ultimate tribulations come in, that's where your true faith is really going to kick in, if you really had it from the beginning. You know? You want to hold this real quick? Let me check again.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 12. Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. So, you know, if you're at a weak state in your spirit, you know, pray to the Lord to give you that strength and to give you that ability. And lift up your head, man. Don't walk with the sorrowful spirit or a weak spirit. You know, ask for the Lord, pray to the Lord to give you strength and to stand up and to help you make your path straight. It's gonna be a rough road, man, though, but to help you to stand up. You know what I'm saying? And it says, follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. So, you know, pray to the Lord to strengthen you up, man, and to heal up the weak parts in your spirit, to gird you up. And like I said, you know, ask the brothers, message brothers, and ask questions. Don't go without not asking questions, and read scriptures too, and pray. That way the Lord can build you up, lift you up.
This is James chapter 5, verse 7. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth, and had long patience for it.
Right, so it's all in the Lord's own time. So we gotta wait for it. So we got in that meantime, all we can do is do the work. Build ourselves up. Fix the little broken walls that we got in ourselves. So we're a spiritual house. So whatever hole you see a little hole here, hey, patch it up. That's what we're supposed to be doing, building the spiritual house up. What were they doing in the time of Ezra? They were building up the walls. You know, they were patching, repairing. They were repairing the wall. So us as individual men, we're a house, so we got to be building ourselves up.
And have long patience for it until he received the early and latter rain.
Right, until he received the latter and early rain. So we got to wait for him. We got to wait for the elect sealed up. Then that's when he's going to come.
Be also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh.
Right, you got to establish your hearts. Ground yourself, root yourself. Read it again.
Be also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh.
Because the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. He's not, like we were saying from the get-go, from the beginning of the video, of the lesson, is that the Lord is not, he's coming back, man. He's not prolonging his words anymore, his prophecies. They're as like we said, and you know it too when you watch the news and what have you. everything's just falling one thing after another here in this world, man.